You weren't born into football. You were born into Buffalo football, which is less America's game and more seasonal emotional abuse with regional flair. The doctor didn't spank you when you were born. You just heard the phrase wide right and started crying on instinct. From day one, your life has been wrapped in icy weather, blue-collar pride, and a relentless, almost admirable commitment to disappointment. You weren't given a choice. Your crib had Bills sheets. You got baptized during a preseason game and your father was outside jumping through a folding table. Your first words were probably, "next year." You didn't inherit a football team. You inherited a blizzard with a losing record. Your baby photos featured snowbanks taller than your dad, who's wearing a Kelly jersey that looks more like body armor for feelings he refuses to process. He still talks about the 4 straight Super Bowl appearances like they were victories. He glosses over the endings, as if history is just a matter of perspective. And your mom? She doesn't even watch the games anymore. She just folds laundry in the other room and peeks in every time the announcer yells, "Oh no," which is often. You grew up tailgating in frozen parking lots where people body slam folding tables just for fun. Like that's a normal way to pregame a sporting event. Other kids had Disney World. You had Orchard Park in December, watching grown men in wrestling masks light themselves on fire in honor of a team that might lose to the Jets. There are no casual Bills fans, only survivors. Welcome to the mafia. Every year in Buffalo, the season kicks off with the same ritual. You squint at the roster and convince yourself the stars have finally aligned. Josh Allen is still your human highlight reel. Stiff-arming linebackers, threading 40-yard passes through lake-effect snow, and hurdling defenders like a man allergic to sliding. One viral clip of him dragging 2 guys for a first down in training camp, and you're already looking up flights to San Francisco. The receiver room? Not flashy, but underrated in that way only Bills fans believe. Khalil Shakir. Sure hands, smooth routes, and now locked in for the long haul. Keon Coleman. Big-bodied rookie with a mean streak and the personality of a guy who's already picturing his first Lambo leap. Elijah Moore? Shifty, versatile, and just dangerous enough to make you forget he's new here. In the middle of the field, Dalton Kincaid has become Allen's security blanket, turning 3rd and long into just another play for the highlight reel. Out of the backfield, James Cook keeps defenders guessing. Slippery, quick, and perfectly happy to turn a dump-off into 25 yards. The defense? Still nasty. Ed Oliver blowing up the middle, AJ Epinesa setting the edge, Greg Russo bringing length and power of the outside, and Matt Milano everywhere at once. The secondary has leaders who've been through it all. Damar Hamlin, Teron Johnson, guys who know what it takes to survive January in Buffalo. The AFC East feels ripe for the taking. Miami looks soft when it's cold. The Jets are one rolled ankle away from quarterback chaos. New England? Well, you'll take the free wins. So you start talking yourself into it. Last year we just had bad luck. The roster's deeper than ever. Allen's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Every win feels like validation. Every loss is just a wake-up call. For a few glorious months, the past doesn't matter. The Blizzards are home field advantage. The heartbreak is ancient history. And deep down, you actually believe this time it's different. Until it's not. And then January shows up. That magical stretch from September to December. Gone. Reality knocks on the door, wearing a Chiefs hoodie and holding a stopwatch. Yes, we all know about wide right and the 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s. Impressive streak. Like being the valedictorian of failing at the last second. But let's be honest, those are old wounds. The fresher scars? They're nastier. 2021, 13 seconds. You were this close to slaying the Chiefs. Allen throws a game for the ages. Gabriel Davis has 4 touchdowns. The stadium is a blizzard of beer breath and pure joy. Until your defense treats Mahomes like he's on a guided stadium tour. In less time than it takes to microwave a Hot Pocket, your season is over. The overtime rules get changed the next year, and you don't even get the thank you card. 2022, Cincinnati strolls into your snow palace and makes you look like a team allergic to tackling. Joe Burrow stands there in short sleeves while casually carving up your defense like he's prepping a Christmas ham. Fans came for a playoff win and left with frostbite and abandonment issues. 2023, Chiefs again. Home playoff game. The stadium is rocking. The weather is perfect Buffalo misery. You finally have them. Until Tyler Bass shanks a 44-yarder so badly it's still orbiting somewhere over Lake Erie. The entire city went silent, except for the sound of 400,000 TVs clicking off in unison. Even the smaller heartbreaks sting. The Week 18 collapse against the Jets that cost you the 1 seed, the business trip to London, where you lost to the Jaguars, as if you flew across the ocean just to give away points like a travel souvenir, or that overtime loss to Philly, where you dominated for 58 minutes and then politely handed them the game like it was a hostess gift. And just when you think you've seen it all, there's always the next playoff exit. Fresher, dumber, and somehow more painful than the last. You don't just lose, you invent new ways to make the loss a meme. Because that's Buffalo football in the 2020s, the NFL's most reliable plot twist. After collapses like that, any rational human being would walk away. You'd burn the jersey, unfollow the team on Instagram, and spend next season doing literally anything else. Yoga, pottery, competitive hot dog eating, anything that doesn't end with you screaming into a snowbank in late January while the neighborhood kid points and says, "Mom, is he okay?" But you're not rational. You're a Bills fan. 2 weeks later, you're back on the team website watching hype videos set to Imagine Dragons. You're deep-diving minicamp footage like a forensic scientist. A fourth-string wideout makes a nice catch against air in practice, and you decide to make him your sleeper pick for fantasy football this season. By July, you're convincing yourself that this year's rookie class is different, that the offensive line is finally nasty, that the secondary looks locked in. You forget that these are the exact phrases you used last July, and the July before that. Training camp opens, and you're at St. John Fisher College in the rain, wearing a poncho that smells faintly like tailgate beer from last season. You stand in the bleachers, taking phone videos of a 7-on-7 drill you'll never watch again. You hear Allen complete a pass to a practice squad receiver, and suddenly you're mapping out the playoff bracket in your head. The schedule drops, and suddenly, you're penciling in wins like you're planning a parade. Dolphins? Win. Chiefs? Statement win. Patriots? Therapy session. You start saying things like, "If we can just get home field advantage, no one's beating us." As if you didn't literally watch Cincinnati beat you in a blizzard. You're buying tickets. You're buying merch. You're calculating how many folding tables you can afford to destroy this season without dipping into the Christmas budget. And deep down, you know exactly how it ends. But that's the thing. Hope in Buffalo isn't just optimism. It's a seasonal relapse. You don't quit the Bills. You resubscribe every year like it's Amazon Prime. And your free trial expired in 1995. Somewhere along the way, you stopped liking the Bills and started being the Bills. You've got the wardrobe to prove it. Jerseys from Josh Allen, Fred Jackson, CJ Spiller, Dalton Kincaid, all bought in moments of emotional weakness after a big win in October. They hang in your closet like framed wedding photos, reminders of better days, bought in confidence, aged in regret. You've planned life events around kickoff. Birth of your children? Let's induce Monday. Bills play Sunday. Family reunion? Only if the venue has red zone. You've skipped weddings, ignored funerals, and showed up late to work on Monday because the game went to overtime. Your mood swings with Josh Allen's stat line. He has a 4-touchdown game? You're cooking steaks for the neighbors. He throws 2 picks? You're Googling how to fake your own death. You've learned the phrases like wide right, 13 seconds, and Music City Miracle aren't just sports history. They're emotional landmines. You don't say them casually. You don't even think them unless you're prepared to spiral. And then there's Tony Romo. The man's voice is like a PTSD trigger for his fan base. Because when Romo's in the booth, it means the Bills are in a big game, which in Buffalo is just code for nationally televised heartbreak. There he is, grinning and predicting the exact play you're about to run, right before explaining how your season just ended. Your friends with normal teams think you're insane. They ask, "Why not switch?" And you laugh. Because they don't get it. It's called Bill's Mafia for a reason. Just like a real mafia, there's no getting out. You were born into this. It's a tattoo on your soul. Sure, it's infected, it's ugly, and it hurts every time you look at it. But it's yours. And every time you think about quitting, you remember, next year could be the year. It won't be, but you'll be here anyway.